Now we discuss about graph. Here, this is x-axis. X-axis, we are taking the units of partial pressure of oxygen, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 like that. This is y-axis. In the y-axis, we are taking saturation of the hemoglobin. Saturation levels of the hemoglobin. Here 0, 20% saturation, 40% saturation, 60% saturation, 80% saturation, 100% saturation. Means on the y-axis we have taken the saturation levels of the hemoglobin, means oxyhemoglobin. Here on the x-axis we have taken partial pressures of the oxygen. Here in the lungs partial pressure is more than 100. Already we have discussed 104 in the alveoli. There the hemoglobin level is saturated 97. 97. This process takes place in the lungs. In the lungs this is. Okay, 97% saturation. With 97% of saturation, it is moving into the body. It is moving into the body. As it is moving into the body, the oxygen partial pressure decreases. Already in the previous slides we have discussed in the resting tissues it is 40 mm Hg. So in the resting tissues the saturation of the hemoglobin is 75. You see this 75. Means the 97 comes to the 75 means here the hemoglobin, oxyhemoglobin is delivered 22% of the oxygen to the resting tissues. Okay, this is resting tissues. In the resting tissues, the saturation is 75. Here 97 becomes 75 means here the oxyhemoglobin delivered 22%. Means 1/5 percentage is delivered to the tissues in the resting tissues. Okay? Okay. Where the person is taking more exercise body. Okay, in such condition oxygen partial pressure is only 20. Here 20, saturation only 35. Here saturation only 35. Means here delivered 62%. Okay na? This is in the lungs saturation 97. This is a resting tissue 40. Saturation 75. Delivered 22. This is exercise body saturation 35. Delivered 62% of oxygen to the tissues. Okay na? This is in the lungs. This is in the resting tissue. This is in the exercise skeletal muscles. Means the curve is appearing in a sigmoid shape. That's why this is called sigmoid curve. This is called sigmoid curve. Okay, this is about graphical understanding of oxygen dissociation. How it is dissociating in the tissues based on the partial pressures present in the body. Okay, guys? Okay. Now we discuss about Bohr effect. What we discuss? Bohr effect. What is the Bohr effect means? The effect of CO2 and H plus ions on oxygen carrying capacity of hemoglobin is called Bohr effect. Okay guys? The oxygen carrying capacity by hemoglobin is influenced by the partial pressure of the carbon dioxide, H plus ions and the temperature. Already in the previous class discussed. How these factors are influencing the hemoglobin carrying capacity, let us discuss in Bohr effect. This is a normal sigmoid curve. This is a normal sigmoid curve. The sigmoid curve can move to the left as well as the right also in certain different conditions. Suppose increased temperature, increased H plus ions concentration, increased partial pressure of the carbon dioxide, increased 2,3 dpg, making the curve towards the right side, making the curve towards the right side. Okay, now suppose though you have 100 mmHg partial pressure of the oxygen, their saturation may be around the 80 to 90 only, not 97%. Okay, now here at 40 mmHg it is around 60 only, not 75% saturation. Means the saturation levels are declined in certain conditions. What that conditions means, high partial pressure of the carbon dioxide, high temperature, low pH values, high H plus ions concentration, as well as increased 2,3 dpg also, shifting the curve towards the right side. As well as in certain other conditions. What are the other conditions? Means decreased temperature, increased pH value, decreased H plus ions, decreased carbon dioxide partial pressures, shifting the curve towards the left side. Okay. The curve can move to the left as well as right also based on their factors in specific carbon dioxide, temperature and H plus ions. Okay, this is called Bohr effect. Now we discuss about double Bohr effect. What is the double Bohr effect means? The hemoglobin saturation is different in a fetus as well as adult women. You might have seen here are two sigmoid curves. The red color curve belongs to adult, the mother, the pregnant lady's curve this is. Whereas the blue color curve is fetal hemoglobin. Already we have discussed it. In the fetal hemoglobin 2,3 diphosphoglycerol is less. The structure of the hemoglobin is different in the fetus. That's why oxygen holding capacity is more in the fetal hemoglobin. That's why this is the curve of the fetus. This is the curve of the pregnant woman. A single person having two curves, one is herself and the second one is fetus. That's why this is called double Bohr effect. Hope you understand. Fetus hemoglobin having holding capacity more than the adult hemoglobin. That's why the fetus curve is moving towards left side. This is a normal sigmoid curve. Okay, this can be called as a double Bohr effect. Next we discuss about P50 value. Which value? P50 value. P50 value means the saturation is 50%. The hemoglobin saturation is 50%. Is called P50 value. The hemoglobin saturation is 50% is called P50 value. Suppose you see there the hemoglobin 50% saturated in adults at 26.8 partial pressure of the oxygen. In the fetus, the P50 value is just 19 only. Means at 19 partial pressure of oxygen only, the 50% hemoglobin is saturated in the fetus. Whereas in the adults, 26.8 partial pressure causing 50% saturation. So saturation of the 50% of hemoglobin is different in fetus as well as in adults. That is called P50 value. P50 value in hemoglobin adults 26 mmHg, hemoglobin fetus 19 mmHg. Hope you understand this is. P50 value means the saturation of the hemoglobin 50% is called P50 value. The saturation is different in fetus as well as in adults. In fetus at 19 mmHg only 50% is saturated because it is having more holding capacity of oxygen. So because of the even though there is a less pressure, 50% is saturated. Whereas at 26.8 in adult hemoglobin 50% is saturated. Means with a difference of around 7 mmHg, 50% of hemoglobin is saturated. Okay, hope you understand. This is transportation of the oxygen. This is the class of today's. Tomorrow we discuss about transportation of the carbon dioxide. Right?